All right, so I am back from the International Firewood Expo down in Cortland, Ohio. Just got back yesterday. Was a bit of a long day traveling back. I am a little exhausted, a little wore out. Do have a few things to do here in the wood yard. The bundles, of course, as when I'm gone. The bundles, I had a whole bunch built up, stockpiled. They all sold out. Well, there's 2 left. So I got to make more bundles. Ran into a bit of a blind spot that I didn't anticipate when it comes to the mini firewood. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And the little boss man said he has something that I need to check out that he did over here in the shelter. So I'm going to check that out, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about the International Firewood Expo. It was a great time. I was very surprised, and I was very, I guess my expectations, I didn't really have that many expectations going in. I knew it would be, the weather was the big thing. I knew it would be a good time either way, but I was really surprised at just how great of a turnout there was and just how great of an event it was. So again, we'll cover that in a little bit. Let's go check out what the little boss man said he has left for me here in the shelter. So I think I know what he is talking about, and yes indeed, there it is. He's got a full tote of mini firewood, all split up, ready to go. There must be the rejects. I tell him anytime there's a piece that's a little awkward or doesn't look very good, to throw those aside. So we've got the rejected pieces and a full tote, which is good because there were a couple orders that I had to ship out actually today. And just so this is like this little shelter now. It used to be for the tractor, but what I've kind of turned it into is an area to split up mini firewood, and also it's where I'm going to try to keep the bagging station. So I have that tote right there is all stuff for bags. Have it covered so it was out of the rain, which is good because it rained here just like it did down in Ohio. So I've got to make up a bunch of bags and restock the roadside stand. And then, like I said, I just want to take a moment to recap the International Firewood Expo. So before I get into talking about the Firewood Expo, the International Firewood Expo, the one little blind spot that I've run into when it comes to mini firewood, the one thing I did not, I guess, anticipate or predict for is when orders come in when I'm not here. And that is exactly what happened last week when I was out of town. I got the email that the order was placed, and I was like, oh, dang it. And it's something that if I would have shown Amanda how to do all the shipping and everything, I know she would have been able to figure it out, but I had never shown her before, and I had never even discussed with her what all is involved. So instead of trying to do that over the phone, because there's a program I have on my computer. Well, and that's the other thing. I had my laptop with me, so she wouldn't have even been able to log in to calculate and print out the shipping label. So that customer had to wait a few extra days. And that is the one thing that I'm trying to, or that I wanted to do. When someone placed an order, I wanted to have it shipped out within the next day or 2. But in this case, being that I was out of town, I was not able to make that happen. So that is one thing I need to kind of figure out what I'm going to do in the future as far as if I'm out of town, if I have my laptop with me, if I put a little notification online when they place the order, or if I just no longer go and leave out of town for more than 1 or 2 days. That is an option as well. So that was the blind spot. I just was not thinking, you know, it's one of those things. It's one of those, something you have to learn from experience. Well, yeah, it was kind of cool because I had ordered for mini firewood while I was gone. The roadside stand, all the bags, well, except 2, I guess. Most of the bags, all were sold. So that was nice. It was very, very cool. And the International Firewood Expo, very cool as well. I want to thank, first of all, everyone who came out and, you know, tracked me down. I was running all over the place, but for everyone that I had a chance to interact with, and just for everyone that was there in general, you know, thanks for coming out and making that event what it was. I think everyone, including Joe, you know, from Joe on down the line, all of us that were a part of it, I think we were all very, very pleased with the turnout. The weather was the big factor that we were all worried about, and that turned out great. But yeah, it was just an overall great time. And I think one of the things, now this is just my, kind of my feeling on the whole thing is, I think what made it really cool was having the vendors and having all the machines kind of set up in an actual wood yard. I mean, we had, you know, Joe had stacks of wood, so there was like rows of wood separating out, you know, one machine from another machine. And as you went around, you could just kind of see all of the, you know, you just had a sense like you were right there in the wood yard with all these great machines and all these great people. And I think that was a little factor that I don't even think, you know, Joe realized like how cool that would be to have that all going on in his wood yard. And again, the weather turned out great, and the people, man, there were people from Alaska, a lot of people from Canada came down. So it was both international in the manufacturers and the vendors that were there, but also the people who attended. And that was just awesome to see. This is probably going to be a little noisy with all this banging. So anyhow, again, thank you everyone for coming out to the International Firewood Expo. Great time. We will be, I think, hopefully hearing from Joe here sometime soon, in the next few days, maybe next week or 2, his plans on doing this again next year. I am thinking it's going to happen. And I'm thinking he is actually going to improve upon what he did this year to make it bigger and better. So we shall see. It's crazy how sitting in a car all day, not really doing anything, is something that can just wear you down and wear you out. So I think that's going to do it. I'm going to finish making up a few more bundles, restock the roadside stand, get that mini firewood ready for its next stage in the process. And again, great time at the International Firewood Expo. Thanks to Joe for putting it on. Thanks to all of you vendors that came out. Great seeing a lot of you guys. And again, all the people that attended. Thank you for coming out, hanging out in the Ohio Woodburner wood yard for a day. And just, you know, possibly kicking off something that is going to become an annual event. We shall see. So thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Stay safe, have fun, and be cool.